The house on Turf Valley Drive in the Bear Creek neighborhood of Houston had never flooded before, not once in the 26 years since Larry and Brenda Koser had moved in, not once in the 41 years since the subdivision was built. So although the couple and two of their grown children, Matthew and Micah, had packed bug-out bags just in case, they didn't think they would use them as Hurricane Harvey arrived. And, at first, they didn't. The night of Sunday, August 27, was rainy, Monday morning more so. Then, by 4 in the afternoon, the water was knee-deep on the front lawn of the single-story home, making it impossible to use any of the cars that were parked uselessly in the driveway. So the Kosers grabbed their bags and left through their backyard, cutting a hole in their fence and wading to a nearby community center that was serving as a makeshift shelter. 2 hours later, though, the water was threatening the shelter, too, and they moved to the home of friends, and then on Tuesday morning moved again to the home of their oldest son, 44-year-old Larry Jr., who made his way to them in his truck, taking more than 2 hours for what is normally a 30-minute drive from his home in the town of Katy. The house beneath all that water had long been the heart of everything for the family, Larry Jr. said. This is where everybody gets together. Now you come here in a kayak and you're floating around in a house, and all your belongings are just kind of floating around. To see everything like that, it's surreal. It's just sad. In the early visits, he says, the goal was to salvage a few little treasures for each person, necessarily small and light because that was all the kayak could carry. Photo albums. Passports. Documents from the safe. The purse that 19-year-old Micah had left on her bed, and some of the most recent canvases she had painted, which she had propped atop a tall dresser. Once it became possible to drive up to the house, the real work began, hauling out furniture and belongings, creating a pile 8 feet high on the front lawn. Yanking out the sheetrock down to the studs. Bringing in fans and dehumidifiers. Treating everything with peroxide to fight mold. They are all bunking at Junior's 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 100-square-foot home in Katy. The youngest son, 22-year-old Matthew, takes the couch. Their biggest challenge is getting around the sprawl of Houston without any of their 4 cars, which were all destroyed in their driveway. All 4 were paid for, and they carried only liability insurance, so the adjuster has offered them just $900 total. For the moment they are borrowing from family and friends. The insurance on the house was also insufficient. The house too is paid for, and they had flood insurance, but only up to $100,000 for the building and $40,000 for the contents, far short of what it will take to replace. And even were they to bring the house back to livable condition, Larry Sr. says he is not certain he would want to move back in. I'm not sure what we're going to do with regards to living in it, he says. Maybe we will rent it or sell it, assuming I can do either of those, but I don't know whether I want to go back there. We'll get through this, he says. We'll be a stronger family. He reminds himself that there are others who are struggling more than he is, saying, I was blessed I had some place to go. And in about a month there will be something to celebrate. Larry Jr. is getting married. His father sees that as both a blessing and a looming complication. We don't want to upset the newlyweds, he says. You want to have some kind of privacy when you are just married. I'm not sure where we're going to go after the wedding. His son assumes they will stay. It's not a new relationship, we've been dating for 12 years, says Larry Jr. We really don't need the privacy. Family comes first. He'll probably try to move out and we'll try to keep him there as long as we can. I can't imagine what it feels like for him, to be recently retired and then to watch everything you built, everything you had, just completely gone.